Cursed lands. The forbidden lands of the Ute tribe. Historical records indicate that even other Native American tribes did not enter this region. The Utes were forced to leave, and it is said that the tribe's witch doctor cursed the land. It is said that the curse was brought on by a mythical, shape-shifting creature called the Navajo, whom the Utes greatly feared. The ranch's founder was Jacob Myers, one of the new industrialists of the time. Construction was planned to be completed in 1 year. However, the workers fled, frightened by the paranormal activities they encountered, and the ranch was completed only 6 years later. In 1900, Jacob Myers and his family, now elderly, settled on the ranch. About 4 years later, the Myerses hanged themselves in the attic. Their children were in New York for education. Many years later, in 1916, another family member, Adam Myers, restored the ranch and began living there with his wife and 2 children. Fires of unknown origin were breaking out throughout the house. From 1916 to 1920, the Utah Fire Marshal's Office reported 60 fires related to the house. Ironically, these fires did not cause serious damage. In October 1920, Adam Myers and his wife, like his parents, committed suicide by hanging themselves in the attic. After these events, the farm remained unoccupied until 1930. In the 1930s, Kenneth John Myers and his wife, Edith Child Myers, moved onto the farm and lived there until 1987. While living on the farm, they filed no reports with the police. The family was very reclusive and had no contact with anyone. Meanwhile, in the 1950s, other unusual events occurred in the Uinta Basin where the farm is located. Numerous UFO reports were made by local residents regarding the farm and its grounds. Some eyewitnesses reported UFOs landing in front of the farm's main building. These reports continued for several decades. We know from historical records that during the continent's early exploration, Spanish explorers passing through the Uinta Basin saw and described large fireballs in the sky above campfires at night. Some were surrounded by a glowing green light. Others left wavy red trails. By the 1970s, the Utah Highway Patrol was receiving so many UFO calls that they stopped filing incident reports. Over the years, many eyewitnesses reported seeing strange beings living in their windows or barns. Returning to the farm after the Myers' deaths in 1987, it was purchased by Terry and Gwen Sherman in 1994. The couple moved in with their 2 children and their livestock. They were surprised to find that the previous owners had installed deadbolts on all the doors and windows, including those inside the house. Even the kitchen cabinets had bolts. And at each end of the house, iron stakes and heavy chains marked the walls with burn marks. The family soon spotted a large wolf in one of their barns. The wolf grabbed the calf by the snout and tried to pull it over the barn railing. Terry Sherman and his father tried to save the calf, but they were unsuccessful. Sherman shot the animal in the forehead with a magnum, but the wolf still wouldn't let go. After a second shot, the calf dropped the animal and stood there, calmly staring at the Shermans. After a few more shots, the animal, surprisingly, bolted and ran away. There was no sign of blood or injury. The Shermans then followed the animal's tracks for about a mile before it suddenly ended, as if it had vanished. Over the past 2 years, the Shermans, as well as their neighbors, have reported seeing a series of strange animals in the area. The Shermans, like their neighbors, have seen more than a dozen strange lights and flying objects one evening. Concurrently, the next morning, 4 cows were missing from their barn and 3 were dead. One of the dead cows had a strange hole in the center of its left eye. A 6-inch wide, 18-inch deep hole extended into the animal's body cavity, but there was no trace of blood, only a strong chemical odor. The last incident occurred in May 1996, when Sherman was out with his 3 dogs. When he noticed a blue sphere growing smaller and larger in the field next to his farmhouse, he sent his dogs after it. The animals, who had chased the sphere away from sight, were found the next morning wearing only their skins. They had no organs or bones. They had practically melted, but their skin was still intact. After these incidents, a company bought the site. They invested a great deal of money in investigating the events. The results of the investigation are unknown. Over the last 100 years, more than 4,000 people have disappeared without a trace in Skinwalker lands. Nowhere else in the world is this number higher.